I do too. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of
You,
Me, and a Cup of Tea.
This week is a little bit of a rough episode.
We're struggling this morning.
Yes, really.
This is probably like the 10th take we've taken. We're a little bit hungover.
And we're a little bit miscombobulated.
Discombobulated, that's a good word.
And why are we hungover?
Yesterday we celebrated Emily's 29th birthday. Last year in her 20s, everyone.
Oh gosh, and I'm partied birthdayed out or what have you. It was a long day, but it was a great day. Yeah, it was so much fun. Jane and her husband joined us last night at one of my favorite places to be, and home away from home, I should say. And it was just a great night with friends. So super grateful and happy and filled with so much love.
It was absolutely amazing. Her friends Mike and Shanette own a lot of land, and
you were so like, I love this place.
they had like a little bar in their backyard, and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it was just amazing. It was like we went out somewhere.
Yeah, it definitely had a good like at home bar vibe. Like, but music was playing. We were able to do karaoke, but nobody did. But there's a lot of options, and I don't know. Everybody was just mingling very well, and it was. From, like, at one point, I was, like, sitting to the side, just, like, I was just watching everybody and just, like, so happy, like, just to have all my favorite people in one place, so, it was a good night.
I'm good. I'm glad you had a good birthday.
Jane, my co-host.
Yeah. But if you are anything like us, we are not 21 anymore, that is for sure, and it's been, like we said, a rough start to our day.
We kept pushing the time back this morning. We're like, I just need a half hour. I just need an hour. I said, I'm leaving at noon. I didn't get here until like 1.
Yeah. So that actually works out perfectly because today's theme is hangovers.
Yep.
And drunken celebrity stories.
Yes. Some that might stand out to, you know, some of our viewers, and like just like talk about like the funny moments, and like, because I feel like a lot of us do relate to celebrities a lot when they go out, because like we don't have paparazzi following us, so it's
right.
It's a little bit more intense when you see it on a news headline.
Right. Well, and it's just like we were talking about earlier, celebrities, like they go out, they want to have a fun night out, just like how we did last night for your birthday, but the difference is, like you said, we don't have paparazzi taking every picture of our drunken nights and making it sell, you know, a million copies and saying, oh, they have a drinking problem. When really some celebrities are like us and probably just wanted to have a good time.
Yeah. And you know what? You know when you take a bad drunken picture and you don't want it posted, they don't have that.
They don't have that option, exactly.
So yeah, definitely some ins and outs to that. But
we'll go ahead and get into today's episode. So we'll start off, as always, with the tea that we will be having today. And this is a special tea that can especially help for hangovers. So it is, again, by the Tiesta brand that I love. I think last week's episode was also a Tiesta brand. And it's just a simple lemon black tea. But there is a fact as to why that is good for hangovers. So I'll first pour it before I get into those fun details. But this one might not be as sweet as some of the other teas that we've had.
It's a little bit more bitter, or
well,
stronger?
It is strong because it's a black tea,
it's
but
really pretty.
The color of the tea.
Oh
yeah, because there's that lemony, that citrus in it.
Yeah, it does look like it has a bit of an orangey, pinkish tint to it, like a sunset. Cheers. Let's hope this helps. Jane, I'm taking your word for it.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I love tea.
I know, isn't it so great? So this one is so it's not like a super sweet one.
Mm-mm.
It's just got that citrusy and then that black tea taste.
It does have a little sweet, but it's covered by the lemon, like kind of like a I don't know how to say that, like a fresh lemony. I don't know. I see. I am hungover. I can't get my words out right now.
But
it's okay. This is gonna help me.
I mean, literally, like I said, this is our 10th take now, and we were just like, screw it, we're not redoing it again. So
it's a little bit more natural.
But yeah, so it's been rough. But the fun fact and why this might be a good tea option if you are feeling hungover this Sunday morning. Well, now Sunday afternoon, but
it seems like once.
But it's because lemons are actually a great source, I guess you can say, of a hangover, a great remedy, of a hangover cure. And the reason is because lemons help neutralize your pH level in your body.
Like detoxing a little bit. Almost.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of lemon detoxes are out there. It's because of the alkaline in them. Mm-hmm. So they help neutralize it, and they also help digest alcohol.
Metabolism, right? Like, yeah, never mind.
I
thought like when you put lemon in water, like it's supposed to help
it's very
your
good
metabolism and stuff. So like
it's very good for you.
Same type of thing.
It's the same. Yeah, lemons are very good for that. They help digest the alcohol. Mm-hmm. They produce an instant refreshing relief when you do have like lemon water or lemon in your tea. Yeah. And they are amazing at boosting your liver function for getting rid of toxins. Oh. So it's actually recommended when you're hungover that a lot of anything with lemon or even just citrus is very good for
helps with
helping
bloating too.
Yeah.
Because I'm this morning, if you girls know, I was so bloated just from the alcohol from yesterday. Like I didn't even eat, like I ate yesterday, but like I didn't overeat because it was so hot and humid. I didn't want to get sick while I was talking to all my family and friends. So, but no, I've always loved like lemony flavored things. So this is a really good choice.
Yeah, it's good and perfect for hangovers. And I made extra this time, so we'll have more throughout the episode because I noticed like I've only been doing like 2 cups because I'm like, we don't need that much, and then we always want more.
I know. I remember last week I went to go pour it. I'm like,
oh, sorry, it's gone. Yeah,
but I did drink the 2 little drops that did come out.
But yeah, so that is the fun fact and one good little tip for anybody who is trying to help ease their hangover blues. Yes. Anything with lemon or citrus, very good at helping you feel better.
And drink lots of water.
Of course, hydration always. Yes. But Emily, what fun stories do you have with us?
Well, to go with our theme this week, I kind of went back in time a little bit, but not too far, and looked up crazy celebrity nights out. My gosh, it's tongue twister.
Nights
out. It's like, it doesn't even sound correct, but we'll go with it. And
or celebrity night out.
Yeah,
night
out.
Yeah.
Or famous ones that were photographed, that we just keep in our memories because it was just an epic group of people or situation, or where they were doing or what have you. But the one that I do love so much that is still a big photo to this day, it's on t-shirts now, I've noticed, is the picture of Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, and Paris Hilton in their Mercedes.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and we will include that photo in this episode.
And it was in 2006, and that was, right before, that was about 2 years, maybe a year and a half before Britney, went off the walls and shaved her head and was going through all her mental crises,
that as well, yes.
Which we didn't know. Mental health was not it wasn't a big topic.
As it is today. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has to do with social media and being popular now, because there's more people out there that are telling their stories of mental health. But anyway.
No, and it's a great tool, I think, too. I mean, it's very important, mental health.
Yes.
I've always believed that. So I'm glad that it is something that's more being talked about and accepting that a lot of people go through those issues.
100%.
Yeah.
And so, it was really interesting too when I was researching that night, at first, they were leaving this restaurant, and it was just Britney and Paris at first, and they were waiting for their Mercedes, and you could tell that they were just super nervous, and Britney looked like she was going through something I don't know, what have you. It was, a long time ago. I was in 6th grade. I don't remember exactly what she was going through, but I just know it was more I think that's when she started getting controlled a lot, and when she was going out, she was letting loose because she just didn't have that, like, her dad's team, like, the Britney team wasn't, like, surrounding her. She had different bodyguards because she was with different celebrities. So I think that was sort of, like, an escape for her, and for her to, like, have that, I'm sure, like, it helped her in some ways, but then when she would go back to, like, the life that she was living, like, I'm sure it wasn't all bad, but, like, from the conservatorship and what have you, you just hear things now, and it's, like, very irky. But yeah, her and Paris are still good friends to this day, and Lindsay Lohan also said that they were, like, really close, in the early 2000s, so it, resulting from this story, there's a topic that happened this week, and it was Britney Spears getting slapped, or I watched the video. It didn't look like a slap. It looked like
kind of like,
it
get
was
out
like
of my
this,
way.
but
Yeah.
it was a guy hitting, like, like, I mean, I don't know, like, he probably didn't even realize who it was, and he didn't. He said he didn't know who it was, but regardless,
because even if what was it, just some, fan?
It was just some.
And you hurt that fan, the same situation.
Person.
Yeah.
Like, what if I was, like, an elderly fan, like, just wanting a simple photo with this basketball
That could have done a lot more damage to somebody who was elderly, or if it was, like, a young kid, maybe, or,
Come to find out, they had that basketball team just hired that security guard, like, recently, within the past few months, too. Like, I was reading. So he was, drafted. That's what they said. They drafted this high security person from somewhere else, and, like, he had just started, being security for the team or what have you. But the video that was released, you can definitely tell that it was kind of weird to see Britney, like, go up to a celebrity, like, where they can't see her because she was behind them, and she came up, like, behind them. So they didn't know who she was at first, granted, and they didn't know, like, what was going to happen. But as soon as they saw, I'm sure they were like, oh, shit, oh, oh crap. Sorry. And,
we're not making any money yet.
But it just results to, like, I just think it's just a little weird that she would be, like, that surprising to a different star, because she has been in a lot of paparazzi, people, like, flooding her almost. Like, she's gotten scared before. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. Bear with my lingo today. Whoops.
Like I said, rough hangover day for you, me, and a cup of tea.
It's kind of funny because, like, I'm like, no, I got this, and then it's like,
and we don't got it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was just to conclude this part of the story time, tea time. It was a little odd to see, like, her so comfortable, like, going up to a celebrity, like, and just be like tapping him, and then she got, like, slapped, like, but I don't think he meant to hit her. I think he was just trying to move her back, but the way that it did, it was like,
my cat's in the window, guys.
Oh my god. He was pawing at the door, like, let me out.
He's so cute. Oh my gosh. Hi, baby.
Wait, what is he?
Do you see his eyes? Yeah, do you see his eyes?
Aww.
He's watching us. He's our biggest fan.
He was on our first episode, wasn't he?
I think he was, like, walking around.
Yeah, he was walking around a bit. He was in a few photos. He likes the tea time. Your dogs have definitely opened up to me too, so.
Oh no, we gotta lock my dogs up. They'll try and break down the door to get out here for tea time.
Maybe one day, if they're, well behaved, they could sit with us. Maybe we could get, like, a cushion area. Okay, anyway.
Back on track. Sorry.
I just love how well we flow. So, yeah, so Britney, it's really hard to see that because it's just another media headline, like, Britney Spears getting, hit, and, like, come to find out she actually stole a table. Well, they went into the restaurant, and the restaurant people knew what was going on, and they gave her a table that they already gave to a different celebrity.
Oh my god.
But the guy that had the table originally, he went to the bathroom. I don't remember his name. It was some comedian or something, like, lower,
Yeah.
And
that's so
I'm gonna think
not
of
as big as Britney Spears.
No, not as big as Britney, but I recognized him. He doesn't do a lot anymore. He's older. But he put his stuff down on the table, and then he walked to the bathroom. He went to the bathroom, and he comes back, and his stuff is still sitting on the table, and Brittany and all of her security are like sitting there, and in the photo you can see it. I'll have to send it to you so you can put it on your.
I will. I'll do it. Yeah.
He's standing, and he's like. And Brittany's just like this in her sunglasses because she's probably like, what the heck just happened to me? Like, you know what I mean? And then she's like looking at this guy like, what the heck's going on? Like, I'm Britney Spears. Like, I'm sure like there was a little bit of like entitlement when it came to that decision.
Pretty freaking awesome though.
I know. But they gave her a table that they gave to somebody else, so he literally had to go somewhere and sit somewhere else. I think he went to the bar or something. I don't know. But
I mean, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
but what is another crazy celebrity drunken story?
So, I did like this one. Matthew McConaughey, he was held by police, just because he was being rowdy somewhere.
And I freaking love Matthew McConaughey.
I know, I do too. Alright. And I guess, like, they, like, let him go, but then the cops were brought to his house for a noise complaint, and they found him dancing around playing the bongos.
Oh my god, yes.
Because there was a noise complaint, so he was just, you know, dancing around, he was playing his bongos, and the police are like, this is Matthew McConaughey. Like, that would have been cool to see, like, if somebody in their natural state at their house was playing bongos.
That
like,
is awesome, actually.
And I was reading this article, and it was like, and you can only tell what Matthew McConaughey would say, like, alright.
He's playing his bongos.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I love him.
Okay, that's a great drunken celebrity story. I really love that. I'm
I know.
glad you put that in there. That was probably my favorite one, honestly.
I love that.
And I wonder, were you able to find, like, pictures of it, or no?
No, there was no photos. It was, like, a simple, like
a funny story,
he
probably.
was just being rowdy in public, and then, like, they got a
awesome.
noise complaint later on, and he was just in his house playing the bongos, like, doing nothing wrong.
And that's exactly, like, see, that's an awesome story, I think, because, you know, he's not drunk driving. He's not, like, hurt, like, trying to fight someone. It's a silly drunk story, and I think that is common for all of us.
Yeah, and I think it's genuine, like, just to hear that story about Matthew McConaughey, like, I don't know, like, it's just super, like, genuine and innocent in a way.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more I could talk about.
There's so much out there. So many, like, examples of drunken, like, public celebrity-ness.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Thank you, Emily,
You're
for our drunken celebrity stories.
What remedies do you have for me? So, I need them.
Yes, I will now start off with some ancient remedies and go into what tips and tricks that celebrities today use when they have hangovers. So,
do you know they do? Nope, I'm just gonna
yeah,
shut up. You go ahead, babe. You go ahead.
Well, you will find out. So we'll go as far back. So first, I will say the ancients, the oldest remedy that we know of that was used to cure a hangover is the hair of the dog that bit ya. I'm sure we all know that one, and that is basically just drink more. So that one has been recorded in stories like far back till way long time ago. Jesus' time ago, okay? So yes, that is like the most common, oldest trick. Just you're hungover, so drink more. You don't feel as hungover, right? Like that's, but that's as has been proven throughout just history and life, that actually doesn't really work because you still will end up feeling like crap at some point of that.
I think like you feel way worse. Yeah. Like I feel good when I have a little bit of hair of the dog, but then later on,
it's gonna hit you at some point. You cannot avoid it, and the reason being is because hangovers are brought on from dehydration and loss of electrolytes. Mm-hmm. So just continuously drinking is not going to. It'll temporarily make you feel better, but not forever. So that's just the oldest, most known one that everyone's done in the history of drinking alcohol, the hair of the dog that bit you. Yeah. Now, going into ancient Greek and Egyptian times, because they did like to drink as well. They enjoyed their wine. That was really big. And they had some interesting practices that they believed helped to avoid hangovers or cure hangovers. And the one that I think is the funniest one is from ancient Greek times. They truly believed that if you drank alcohol that had a drown in it, or a drug,
Drug?
a frog.
A frog?
I'm sorry, guys. They had if you drank alcohol with a frog that drowned in that alcohol, you would not have a hangover. They truly believed that, and rather that is by accident the frog drowned in their wine, or they made a frog drown in their own wine, which is very sad. That we don't know, so that's left to your imagination if you think they murdered frogs. But
Oh my gosh. I know, poor frog.
yes, so that's a quite out there one. Another interesting one though, most of the time hangover cures back in, Egypt, Greek, Roman times were food. That's what they had to cure. They didn't have aspirin like we have today, or, freshly brewed coffee or pickles, well, yeah, I don't think they had pickles yet, but basically food was how they made themselves feel better. And cabbage apparently, so not as weird of one, but cabbage apparently was the biggest thing for curing hangovers. Eating cabbage and eating it any type of way, making it in a stew. Yeah, like eating it raw. They were big on eating cabbage to cure your hangover. So I just thought that was kind of interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know that either. But one Roman philosopher had a more unique idea, I guess, that a lot of people followed and believed. He was a very popular philosopher for his time. Now, I'm probably going to butcher his name. Pliny the Elder. Pliny?
P-E-L-I-N-A?
P-L-I-N-Y. Pliny? Pliny.
Something.
I knew I was going to butcher this name, so it's fine. But the Elder, that was his known name.
Yes.
He was a big popular philosopher, and he believed to cure a hangover, you had to eat raw owl's eggs.
Oh,
yeah, and a lot of people.
Yeah, you would have to steal that.
Yeah, and he swore by that, and a lot of his followers, a lot of people that followed him and trusted his words, they were like, all right, raw owl eggs. That was what a lot of the Romans thought would be a cure.
God, that's crazy. I've never heard that one, so
I know.
I don't want to do that.
There's so many interesting, just funny stories of back in the Greek and Roman times of what they did to try and cure their hangover blues, because hangovers have been around since humans have started drinking alcohol. So there's a lot of fun stories with that. But
that's interesting.
Now we'll kind of go into modern times. Today, obviously we have aspirin and coffee, and we know a little bit more about hangovers. So as I mentioned earlier, when we had our tea, citrus lemon is suggested as just a great way to help boost your energy. It helps you feel a little bit more refreshed after a long night of drinking. But another very popular and common cure for hangovers is pickles and pickle juice.
Oh, that's why Snooki loved pickles so much.
No, pickles, oh my gosh. And this one, me personally, I feel better when I do have pickles and pickle juice after a long night of drinking.
I used to watch that show, BT Dubs, and she would go to the fridge and drink from the jar after drinking. So that makes sense. That just clicked in my head. That's why she loves pickles so much. I think,
and there's a reason for it too, and it's because pickles, pickle juice, it's the juice, I guess you could say, but pickle juice is a great source of sodium and potassium, and when you're hungover, you lose, you're dehydrated and you lose those electrolytes. Yes. So that's why too, like salt is a very big thing that'll make you feel better. Salty food, like we all kind of crave, at least I do, and I know other people do too. You kind of crave that salt because
I do like saltiness in the mornings, so. Yeah, I would definitely drink some pickle juice.
And so, in honor of that, we have little shots of pickle juice that we'll take.
This one says rise and grind.
This one says Deja Brew.
That's my favorite. That's so cute.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like New Orleans.
They're so cute. I got these at Walmart. They were 75 cents. I was like, well,
I would do that too.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Here's my pickle. I do love pickle juice.
I love pickle juice too. I mean, that's delicious.
What's your favorite pickle?
Well, my favorite bland. Oh my gosh, I can't
No, I feel like we're coming back to life now, though.
So a little bit. We're starting. We have these remedies, so we're starting to come back to life. But my favorite brand is pickle. It's always in the refrigerated section.
Okay.
It's Colossen, I think, is the brand. Best pickles ever. Nice. Those are my go-to for sure. But honestly, I love any pickle. I will eat any brand.
I can eat a whole jar of bread and butter slices.
I wasn't able to take the whole shot, so I have to drink
more. Go ahead, babe. Bread and butter, my grandma always had in her fridge. And I literally, the last time I visited her in Florida, I bought a jar down there and ate it all in like 2 days. Like, and even drank the juice. I know it's gross, but
bread and butter is good too. I do love bread and butter pickles. So those are some kind of, I wouldn't say 100% proven, because if you're severely hungover,
it doesn't help that much.
You're gonna have to ride out that hangover. But those are just some reasons as to why a lot of people swear by pickle juice and like fruits. Caffeine, of course, perks you back up when you're hungover. So those are some more of our modern time. Now, there are quite a few celebrities that are, they talk about how they like to go have a long night out, drink, and they have their own.
All those Oscar parties.
Yes, exactly. And they have their own little hacks and tricks that they like to use that help ease them when they're hungover. And I think we can probably relate to a lot of these. So the first one I actually have done and do when I'm hungover, so I thought it was interesting. Gwyneth Paltrow. How do you pronounce her last name?
Paltrow? I don't know, but I know who you're talking about.
Paltrow. I never can pronounce her last name. It's always a struggle for me. But if you guys don't know her, I'll also include her photo in this. I'm sure you guys will all recognize her, but very famous actress. Her go-to remedy for a hangover is soaking in Epsom salt. Yep. A big hot bath of Epsom salt. And I've actually done that before, and taking hot baths in general, if I'm not crazy, like throwing up hungover, because then that won't help me. But if I'm just hungover and not feeling good, hot baths always make me feel better.
Yep.
And I'll drink tea in my bath too.
Oh yes, I feel like that's such a relaxing, like, that's also like really good just for like in general, you to relax your body and just, well, obviously because you have a hangover, you're not like partying it up, dancing all night long anymore. So it definitely would help with like your muscles that are, because sometimes my muscles are sore when I have a hangover.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, when you're partying and hanging out, like you just have all this energy and
it's a bee.
There's a bee. And
the bee wants some tea.
Yes. But yeah, sorry, the bee distracted me. But yeah, I always would love to have a nice soak bath, or a nice bath to soak in if I have a hangover. And tea, especially this tea.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, so that is one that I've actually done quite a few times being hungover, and will feel better after a nice bath. So another famous celebrity that I'm sure we all know, but I'll also include her photo, is Kate Hudson. Love Kate Hudson. Oh, she's one of my top favorites. But her go-to cure for when she's had a long night is, it's a very healthy approach. So she believes that a glass of tomato juice, which again, that's a citrus fruit. A lot of people, there's still that debate that some people don't know tomatoes are fruits, but they are. So again, that citrus really helps. And then she likes to also eat fresh fruit and avocados. Yeah, she said that's her go-to meal when she has hungover is fruits, avocados, and a tall glass of tomato juice. And she says it works like a charm. So I think that actually sounds really good. And again, that fruit and that citrus is proven to help with hangovers. So I just thought it was interesting. I found a celebrity that
Drank the tomato
that does that. So, yeah. And then this one I think a lot of us probably have done when we're hungover, but Rihanna, we all know and love Rihanna. When she's hungover, she says there's only 2 things that she likes, and that's ice. She'll chew on ice, probably for hydration, and Chinese food.
Oh my God.
Eats a lot of Chinese food.
It's my friend's go-to every time she drinks is Chinese food. She just goes, buy me Chinese food.
And again, Chinese food is high in sodium, salty, and greasy, so it soaks up that alcohol. You're replacing those electrolytes. I know a lot of people like to eat Chinese food when they're hungover, and I've done it before as well. So I was like, all right, go Riri.
Yes.
And the last celebrity that I found who has her, ritual for when she's hungover, and she swears that it works every time, is Kate Winslet, and that is, if you guys don't know who she is, Titanic.
Yes.
So I'm sure we all know her, but she is awesome. And she says her go-to routine for when she is hungover is she drinks a tall glass of orange juice, which I love orange juice when I'm hungover as well.
Same.
So again, it's that citrus. And she loves a greasy sausage bacon breakfast sandwich and a cup of sugary tea.
Sugary.
Yeah, she says the sugar and the caffeine perk her back up, give her that energy that she needs, but then also that citrus from the orange juice and that grease from her breakfast sandwich. So, yeah.
I always like a fresh walk in the morning if I'm hungover, just to get some fresh air in my body. Because sometimes, when you are I feel like when you're in the same room for a long time and you are hungover and you can't get out of bed type of hungover, when you get outside and get your body moving in any type of way and breathing fresh air, it actually feels good to me. It feels like my lungs are opening back up and my body's just embracing that fresh, cool air. It would have to be in the morning though in the summer, because sometimes summers
maybe too hot and humid, you might feel worse.
But in the fall, that's what I would do. I would walk my dog in the morning, even if I was feeling absolute crap, but I would feel somewhat better after getting back. Fresh air, man. Feels well for us humans.
Yes. So, if you guys do have any rough mornings from a long night of drinking, we hope that any of these little tips that we found, you can try, and maybe it'll help you.
Or have experienced, this tea. This tea was delicious. I'm gonna have some.
And I don't know about you, but I already feel a little bit more energized. And it's not so hot today. That breeze. Yeah. It's feeling really good.
It was super humid yesterday, but now it's it's pretty nice outside. I'm just saying. For our viewers that don't live in Ohio.
Yes. Any other viewers in any other states, I hope you don't have a too humid of a summer. Because we've had some rough days. Yeah. But we want to thank you guys again for tuning in.
Episode 3.
Episode 3 was great, and I forgot my Out of the Vault segment.
Oh, well, do you want to go and do that right now?
Okay.
Just tell something.
Okay.
It's okay.
We're still learning. It's a new podcast. Well, okay, so to end our episode today, I wanted to start throwing in a segment that I'm naming Out of the Vault, and it's where I talk about movies that I've watched recently that are not current, not out in theaters right now, older movies from whatever year, and kind of give them a review. I'm a big movie buff. I'm always down to watch a movie, old movies, going to the movies, that's probably my favorite thing to do. I'm someone who actually missed when the movie theaters were closed, and I'm glad that they're opening back up, and movies are starting to now be, in theater only, where you have to actually go to the movies again, or it's, trying to get that back. And I'm glad, because I love going to the movies. It's probably one of my favorite, date nights, or just hang out with your friends. I love going to the movies. So, the 2 movies that I have for you guys that I recommend watching, you can stream both of them on HBO Max. That's where I watched them. The first one is from 1986, starring Jeff Goldblum. And I will put his steamy Jurassic Park photo that we all know and love.
I love him.
He is very handsome. It's one of my favorite actors. But he starred in a movie called The Fly. And it was like a drama horror movie that came out in 86. So even though it is from the 80s and technology in movies is
Still a good movie.
much better now, this movie, I am surprised at how much I liked it. I thought going into it, thought it might have been a little bit cheesy. It was great and honestly freaked me out. So I give it an 8 out of 10. Basically, the gist of the movie, without giving anything away, is he's trying to create a machine that can teleport somebody. And he ends up morphing into a fly because of something gone wrong in the machine.
I'm actually terrified of flies. Like,
I
know that sounds super ridiculous, but like when I was a kid, I remember like them buzzing in your ear if you were riding your bike. Like I remember this one, I have this vision and I fell off my bike from it. Like it was like, zzz, and like I hate flies. So
I do too. They're just yeah, it's gross. And so this movie, great movie. Definitely recommend it. So if you want to watch a throwback that's kind of creepy and gross, because there's some grossness in it, highly recommend The Fly on HBO Max. And the last movie that I have that I want to recommend, I've already watched it twice in a couple of days. It's a longer movie. It's about 2 hours. I think it's a little over 2 hours long. But it came out 10 years later in 1996. And it's based on a true story. It's called The Ghosts of Mississippi.
Ooh.
Excellent movie on HBO Max. If you take anything away from this episode today, I highly recommend watching that movie. I've watched it, like I said, twice already. And it stars a young Alec Baldwin, who plays the attorney that reopens a case that happened during the 60s. And I don't want to give anything away, but it's a true story. Very, very good. It's about a civil rights leader gets murdered by a very racist man, and he gets away with it. And so they reopen that case, and that's what this movie is about. So, highly recommend it.
What's it called again?
Ghosts of Mississippi.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna watch that.
HBO. Oh, it's great. It is phenomenal. That gets a 10 out of 10. It was absolutely perfect. You know, because there's a lot of courtroom scenes in it, and it's not boring. Because sometimes movies like that can have some slow parts. You know, you got to pay attention. It's pretty fast paced from start to finish, and that's why I give it a 10 out of 10. And of course, and Whoopi Goldberg is also in it as well. So some great names. Highly recommend it. Those are the two movies I have for you from Out of the Vault. And we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Thanks so much for tuning in once again. We are enjoying this, and it's really cool to create something with you, Jane. So thanks, guys.
Thank you,
guys.
That
was kind of corny, but
we love you guys anyway.
Drink your hangover tea.
Drink your hangover tea.
I'm gonna
Eat some pickles.